Hey guys, this is Brandon. Today we're going to be showcasing some new concept art for the next game that's coming out, sponsored by Tiny Warrior Games, from yours truly. So let's go ahead and go over the 4 years I spent working on this concept art. I think it's coming out along really well. You can see that the artwork is very in its prototype phases, but again, it took me 4 years to do this concept art. And I think it's really coming along. There was a lot of iterations that happened. So this game, I can't really describe it yet because I don't actually have any idea of what it is. I have it has like 200 pages so far of a design document, and it's looking pretty good. It's pretty much full of just story and random plot holes. Usually I find myself asking if it's worth it. And so that's this design document. It looks pretty good. And then we also have this engine. There's only one sprite here because I just started it. Well, I started it 5 years ago, and then I scrapped it. So all that work that I spent creating a proto engine, I decided that as soon as my skills got better, I decided to give up. And I just kind of worked on it for a while, and then I realized that as soon as I could have improved my game, I decided, you know what, I'm not going to release it. I'm going to throw it out the window and start all over again because I can do it better again next time, right? And so I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm feeling that once I spend another 4 years on this redone version, I'm probably gonna, once my skills get even better than before, I'm probably gonna do it again, and I'll just keep repeating the cycle and never release video games again. And you know what? It's okay because I have plenty of likes on my tweets. I'm really popular on the internet, so I think it's worth it. And I think I'm probably gonna make my game free, so I get a lot of attention and no money. I quit my jobs. Actually, I quit both jobs. I was making like 7 figures, and now I'm making nothing because I really believe in video games, and people really seem to support me. And now I'm here, and I think it's worth it. So I'm going to just keep repeating the cycle, and hopefully I'll never release a game ever again. And I'll just keep doing that. Yeah, it's great. And then I'll have absolutely no freaking clue as to how games sell a lot, and I'll probably just pursue a career in I don't know what kind of jobs are well, whatever the case, you know what. But I've sacrificed a lot. I've lost a lot of friends. We've had a lot of heated arguments because, I've sacrificed a lot, and now I have no friends, and I'm supported on the internet, and I'm spending years of my life on games, and it's good. It's good. And it's all good. It's all good. Oh, and before I take off, let's take a look at the latest footage of this game. This is some old footage, so obviously it's nothing new or impressive, but I hope you guys are excited. The game has gone through, again, a lot of iterations, so it's gonna come off as if the game has no cohesion to it, but that's kind of the point. And I also should point out that all this footage that I'm showing is it's all mood board stuff. So it's not, I worked on the game, but I deleted all the footage, so I couldn't record it. But it's okay because the mood board footage that I have, that I'll show you, is very much appropriate as to what it was. So it's okay. You know what? This'll show what I was doing. This will prove what I was spending 10 years of my life doing, through years of turmoil and misery and depression and oatmeal and canned soup and boxed cereal, and it's all worth it because I'm popular, right? So it's all good. All right, let's get this thing shown on the road. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I also deleted my music entire music collection too. So I have placeholder music instead. So sit back and enjoy this amazing footage of this next game that I'm working on.
Here we go!
Is it worth it? 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 Is it worth spending your gosh dang? Is it worth it? Is it worth making a sequel? Is it worth making a game that's not crap? Is it worth making a game that's not poo? Is it worth making a game that's not dumb? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth the wait? Is it worth it? Let's make a trilogy. Is it worth it? Is it worth making the trilogy? Is it worth it? 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 Are you okay, Eddie? Are you okay? Oh, I'm gonna get copyright infringed for that. Is it worth it? Is it worth the wait? Wait? Is it worth the wait? Is it worth making a sequel? Is it worth making a game that is gonna sell worse? Is it worth spending years of your life on a game? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth the wait? Is it worth it? Is it worth the work? Is it worth the worth it? Is it worth it the worth it? Is it worth spending 10 decades of your life on making something that gets 1 view? Is it worth it? Is it worth making YouTube poop videos again? Is it worth it? Is it worth getting popular? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth playing video games? Is it worth it? Is it worth crashing your car? Is it worth it? Is it worth getting noticed on the internet? Is it worth it? Is it worth not getting noticed? Is it worth it? 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 Is it worth making a video? Is it worth getting 1 view? Is it worth spending 5 millenniums of your life on a game? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Was it worth it? Could it be worth it? How would it be worth it? Why is it worth it? When's it worth it? What's it worth it? Worth it, worth it? Well, is it worthless? Is it worth full? Is it worth more? Is it worth it? 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 Is it worth it?